Okay, so we'll start with our prayers. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So the Mangalacharan prayer, let's do it together steadily.
Yes.
Om
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Shri
Shri
Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Manobhishtam
Manobhishtam
Sthapitam
Sthapitam
Yena
Yena
Bhutale
Bhutale
Swayam
Svayam
Rupa
Rupa
Kadamahyam
Kadamahyam
Dadati
Dadati
Swapadantikam
Padantika
Vandeham
Vandeham
Shri
Shri Guru
Guru Shri Yuta
Sriyuta
Padakamalam
Padakamalam
Shri Guru
Shri Guru
Vaishnavamsha
Vaishnavamscha
Shri
Shri Rupa
Rupam
Sagrajatam
Sagrajatam Sahagana
Sahagana
Raghunathanvitam
Raghunathanvitam Tam
Tam
Sajivam
Sajivam Sadvaitam
Sadvaitam Savadutam
Savadhutam Parijana
Parijana
Sahitam
Sahitam
Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya
Chaitanya Devam
Devam Shri
Sri Radha
Radha
Krishna
Krishna
Padan
Pradan
Sahagana
Bhagana
Lalita
Lalita Shri
Sri Vishakhanvitamscha
Vishakhanvitamcha He
Krishna
Krishna
Karuna
Karuna
Sindho
Sindhu
Dina
Dīnabandho
Bandho
Jagat-pate
Jagat-pate
Gopesha
Gopesha Gopika
Gopika
Kanta
Kanta Radha
Radha
Kanta
Kanta
Namostute
Namostute
Tapta
Tapta
Kancana
Kanchana
Gaurangi
Gaurangi
Radhe
Radhe Vrindavaneshwari
Vrindavaneshwari
Vrishabhanusute Devi
Devi
Pranamami
Hari
Hari
Priye
Priye
Vancha
Pancha
Kalpatarubhascha
Kalpatarubhyascha
Kripa
Kripa Sindhubhya
Sindhubhya
Evacha Patitanam
Patitanam
Pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo Namo
Namo
Namaha
Namaha Namo
Nama Om Vishnu
Vishnu Padaya
Padaya
Krishna
Krishna
Preshthaya
Presthaya
Bhutale
Bhutale Srimate
Srimate
Bhakti
Bhaktivedanta
Vedanta
Swami
Swami Niti Namine
Namine Namaste
Namaste
Saraswate
Saraswate Deve
Devi
Gauravani
Gauravacharine
Pracharine Nirvishesha
Nirvishesha
Shunyavadi
Shunyavadi
Paschata
Paschatyadesh
Deshatarine
Jai
Jai Shri
Shri
Krishna
Krishna Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Prabhu
Prabhu
Nityananda
Nityananda Sri
Shri
Advaita
Advaita Gadadhara
Gadadhara Srivasa Adi
Srivasadi
Gaura
Gaura
Bhakta
Bhakta
Vrinda
Vrinda Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Rama
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama
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 Hare
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 Hare Shri Krishna Bhagwan ki Jai Prabhupada ki Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai. So just four of us today, right?
Yeah.
We continue our Bhagavad Gita reading, right? Or
Yes.
I think yeah.
short time today actually. Let's see. So Bhagavad Gita, we are reading from 10th chapter. And last week we read text. 12, 13, right? Last week we read, 12, 13. Arjuna watch Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. So after Krishna says the four verses of Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita, so Arjuna shares his realization that you are Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. So you are the supreme abode, supreme. So he uses these all great words for Krishna. And then he says that it's just not I am saying this. ahustvam rishayas sarve. All the great sages say the same thing about you, and he names some sages there. So Devarshi Narada and Asita, Devala Vyasa. And now you yourself, swayam cha eva bravishime, and then you yourself are telling the same thing about you, and I accept this as truth. So today we'll read the next couple of verses depending on time permits. So let's read the shloka. Sarvametadritam manye
सर्वमेतद्रुतं मन्ये
yanmam vadasi keśava
यन्मां वदसि केशव
न हि ते भगवन् vyaktiṁ
न हि ते भगवन् व्यक्तिं
vidur devā-dānavāḥ
विदुर्देवा न दानवाः
sarvametadritam manye
सर्वमेतद्रुतं मन्ये
yanmam vadasi keśava
यन्मां वदसि केशव
न हि ते भगवन् व्यक्तिं
न हि ते भगवन् व्यक्तिं
vidur devā-dānavāḥ.
विदुर्देवा न दानवाः.
Chandrakant Babu, you want to read once?
सर्वमेतद्रुतं मन्ये
Sarvametadritam manye
यन्मां वदसि केशव
yanmam vadasi keśava
न हि ते भगवन् व्यक्तिं
न हि ते भगवन् व्यक्तिं
विदुर्देवा न दानवः.
vidur devā-dānavāḥ. Madhu Prabhu, you want to read off?
सर्वमेतद्रुतं मन्ये
सर्वमेतद्रुतं मन्ये Madhu lost your voice.
मधु ऐकू येत नाही काय मधु प्रभू? Okay, I think we'll continue with the word for word meaning. So sarvam means all, etad means this, ṛtaṁ means truth, manye means I accept, yat means which, mam means unto me, vadasi means you tell, keśava means O Krishna, na means never, he means certainly, te means your, bhagavan means O personality of Godhead. So he's referring to Krishna here. Vyaktiṁ means revelation. Vidu means can know. Devā means the demigods or the devatas. Na means nor. Dānavāḥ means the demons. So Arjuna further is saying, last time when he accepted Krishna as Param Brahma Param Dhama, so he says that, O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods or the devatas nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality. So again, he is accepting, he is continuing to the previous statements, what he said, that I totally accept whatever you said as truth. So Arjuna's realization that he is accepting Krishna as the supreme Bhagavan, and he is accepting as he is the source of everything that is material and creation, and the knowledge about him is the highest knowledge. And he further says that neither the devas, vidur, devana dānavāḥ. Vidu means to know, and either deva or dānava. So neither the devatas or the demons O Lord, can understand your personality. They cannot understand you. They cannot know you. And Krishna said the same thing in the second verse of this chapter. Na me vidu suragana prabhavam na maharshya. Aham adir hi devanam maharshinam cha sarvasha. So let's read the purport, short purport. And so, Rajesh Prabhu, do you want to read the purport?
Anantharami.
Yeah.
Arjuna herein confirms that persons of faithless and demonic nature cannot understand Krishna. He is not known even by the demigods. So what to speak of the so-called scholars of this modern world? By the grace of the Supreme Lord, Arjuna has understood that the supreme truth is Krishna and that he is the perfect. One should therefore follow the path of Arjuna. He received the authority of Bhagavad Gita as described in the 4th chapter, the parampara system of disciplic succession for the understanding of Bhagavad Gita. Disciplic succession for the understanding of Bhagavad Gita was lost. And therefore, Krishna re-established that disciplic succession with Arjuna because he considered Arjuna his intimate friend and a great devotee. Therefore, as stated in our introduction to Gita Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita should be understood in the parampara system. When the parampara system was lost, Arjuna was selected to rejuvenate it. The acceptance by Arjuna of all that Krishna says should be emulated. Then we can understand the essence of Bhagavad Gita. And then only can we understand that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead.
Thank you, Prabhu. So here, Prabhupada emphasizes in several lectures that when we are studying Bhagavad Gita, and he said that in the beginning, in the introduction itself, he mentions that some lady in the US had asked him, there are already many commentaries on Bhagavad Gita, so what is the need of another commentary on Bhagavad Gita? So Prabhupada said that all those commentaries, what are published of Bhagavad Gita, are not Bhagavad Gita as it is. So they don't give the message of Krishna or Bhagavad Gita as it is supposed to be.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, people, in the name of Bhagavad Gita, people try to concoct and bring forth their own agenda or their own propaganda. And they concoct. And the Bhagavad Gita, in several chapters, and as we are reading, we are in the 9th chapter now. And so far we have understood that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. He is referred as Bhagavan in the very second chapter. For if you see in the Bhagavad Gita, the verses that are spoken by Arjuna or Sanjaya or Dhritarashtra, it is said that Dhritarashtra uvacha or Sanjaya uvacha or Arjuna uvacha. But it doesn't say Krishna uvacha. It says Bhagavan uvacha, Shri Bhagavan uvacha.
Yes.
So Krishna is referred as Shri Bhagavan. And then the meaning of that word Bhagavan is given in many Vedic literatures. And the one most authentic definition that is given in Vishnu Puran by Parashara Muni, that Bhagavan is someone who possesses all 6 types of opulences in full.
Yeah.
Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya yashasasya jnana vairagyam. So Aishwarya means wealth. So Krishna possesses all wealth. So even though sometimes we cannot comprehend that everything belongs to God and everything belongs to Krishna, but when he was on this planet Earth about 5,000 years ago, he showed his full opulence. He married 16,108 wives. For each individual wife, he built a big palace. So imagine his opulence. So, because sometimes when we say that everything belongs to Krishna, we kind of concoct and we don't understand that. But Krishna showed his full opulence. So his Aishwaryasya samagra. Samagra means complete, everything. It's completely full. Because here,
All encompassing.
we think of somebody who is wealthiest person as names like Elon Musk or Adani, Ambani, or Bill Gates. So because they have lots of wealth, and we also saw, oh, this is the number one person who is wealthy. But imagine somebody who owns everything, and not only on this planet, but all the planetary, who claims to own all the planetary systems, including the spiritual world and material world. So whole real estate is his. So that person is Krishna. Now, Aishwaryasya Samagrasya Virya. Virya means Virta. So strength. He is the strongest person. He was merely a few days old when he killed a demoness like Putana, of whom so many people were afraid of. When he killed Putana, it is said that when she died, she took a form of a beautiful lady and she tried to breastfeed Krishna, smearing poison on her breast, thinking that Krishna will suck the breast with poison and will die. But he sucked not only her milk, but he sucked her life air through that. And when she died, she assumed her own original form. And it is said that she was 12 miles long, her body. So that kind of demoness, she was killed by Krishna when, from material perspective, he was only few days old.
Yes.
And then he killed so many demons, Kaliya, Bakasur, Aghasur, so many. And Kamsa, he just killed with just by his fist, in fist fight.
The cart.
The cart was left, yeah. When he was a mere baby, he was sleeping under the cart and he just touched the cart and the cart just
Floor.
yeah. So we can see that he is the strongest person. So all strength, he possesses all the strength. Viryasya, Yasha. Yasha means fame. So fame, so we see there are so many people famous on this world, but they are famous either in limited circle or limited area, and also for limited time. But
and
Krishna,
limited abilities.
huh?
Limited abilities.
And for limited abilities, yes, thank you. But Krishna is famous all, not in this universe, but all the universes, including the spiritual world and the material world. Everybody knows Krishna. And for several reasons, for many things. So Yasha, Shriya means beauty. So beauty, Krishna is, actually, he is the source of all these. So he is also source of the beauty. So it is his beauty, Brahmaji describes in his Brahma Samhita prayers, Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham. Kandarpa means Madan. Madan is said to be Cupid. So Cupid is said to be the most beautiful, and he, just by his glance or just by his effect, he can change the heart of persons. So we say that when a person sees in certain weather, certain kind of atmosphere, a man sees a woman or a woman sees a man, then that Kandarpa is actually shooting arrows that time in their heart, and then they get captivated by the beauty. So that Kandarpa is said to be the most beautiful person in this world. But Brahmaji, when he describes Krishna's beauty, he says that Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham. So when millions of Kandarpas put together, their beauty put together, that may be comparable with Krishna's beauty. So that's why Krishna is called Madan Mohan. That Madana bewilders all the living entities, but Krishna even bewilders Madan. Madan is the Kandarpa or Cupid again. So he's the most beautiful person. And then Jnanam, so knowledge. So everybody who possesses knowledge he's respected here in this world. Not these days, but in olden days, in Vedic culture, actually, there was very high respect for Vedic knowledge. But Krishna is the source of all this knowledge. Or if without that knowledge, how can he explain or how can he give this knowledge in the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, which is the essence of all the Vedic literature. Gita Upanishad is said to be the essence of all the Vedic literature. So he is the fully knowledgeable person. And then even by possessing all these other opulences, the sixth opulence is renunciation or vairagya. So he is not attached to anything, or he is not very much caring about this. So that's why he is the most renunciate person. He is the highest sannyasi.
Yes.
So that Krishna, that way Arjuna is accepting him. So he is saying that you are the highest person. And that, so we came to this when Prabhupada was asked by the American lady, why you are writing another commentary? What is the need of other commentary? So that's where Prabhupada said that many commentaries or all the commentaries that those are written by so-called scholars are either their agenda and they promote Bhagavad Gita minus Krishna. To remove Krishna from Bhagavad Gita, and then they promote something, and they think that, oh, Krishna is just a historic person.
Yes.
But in the pages of Bhagavad Gita, the more and more we read, here Arjuna himself is saying, Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. Or Krishna himself is saying, Matta Parataram Nanyat, or Aham Sarvasya Prabho. I am the supreme person. He is referred as puruṣottama. He is referred as Bhagavan. But people take out Krishna from that and then just promote their own agenda. And that's why Prabhupada said that there was a need to present Bhagavad Gita as it is. The way Krishna spoke and the way Arjuna understood it. And this is Arjuna's understanding. So if our understanding of Bhagavad Gita is in alignment with Arjuna's understanding, then we understand Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, we cannot say that we understand Bhagavad Gita. And then here it is also described that in the 4th chapter, Prabhupada mentions this Vedic knowledge or Bhagavad Gita is always received in a Guru Shishya Parampara system, not by mundane scholars. Not just somebody, a Sanskrit scholar can come, read, and try to understand and explain this. Not like that. This knowledge is transcendental, divya. It is beyond the material conception. It's beyond the satogun, rajogun, and tamogun. It's divya jnana, and it is said divya jnana hridaya prakashite. It is revealed within the heart of a devotee, and that can be revealed only by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. And that's why this knowledge is always received in Guru Shishya Parampara.
Yes.
So if you remember in the 4th chapter, Krishna says that evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo vidu. That this knowledge, how first he says that imam vivasvate yogam proktavan ahamavyam vivasvan manave praha manur ikshvakave bravit. That this knowledge was millions of years ago was given by me to sun god Vivasvan. Yeah. Then Vivasvan gave it to his son Manu, Vaivasvat Manu, and Manu gave it to Ikshvaku. And then he says, evam parampara praptam. In this way, this knowledge is received in parampara, Guru Shishya Parampara. Imam, and who was eligible to get this knowledge? Rajarshi. The kings who are great personalities like Manu, Ikshvaku. In the Ikshvaku dynasty, Lord Ramchandra appeared. Solar dynasty. Yes. So that is Ikshvaku. Imagine. So these Rajarshis got this knowledge. So imagine that same knowledge we are receiving by mercy of Krishna, Arjuna, and Prabhupada. Okay. And that knowledge, Krishna says that I am giving this knowledge again to you. Why? This is Rahasya. And I am giving to you because you are Bhakto Seme Sakha Chaiti. You are my devotee and you are my friend. That's why you can understand this Rahasya. So this knowledge is only for devotees of Krishna who are accepting this knowledge in the Guru Shishya Parampara. And that's how this is to be received. So that is the qualification to receive this knowledge in the Bhagavad Gita. It is always so. It was lost. He says that sakale nehamata yogo nashta parantapa. This knowledge was lost in the past, and therefore I am telling you. So Krishna is re-establishing this Guru Shishya Parampara again, starting with Arjuna. And when he starts with Arjuna, he knows as Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas that these people in Kali Yuga will not be qualified enough. So he is documenting this in the form of Vyasdev.
Yes.
Because before that, all the Vedic literature was never documented. They were
Yes.
heard. That's why they are called Shruti. And people were so intelligent that Guru will tell them once and they will understand this and they will remember that. But now in Kali Yuga, it is very difficult. That's why this was put in a written form by Vyasdev. Vyasdev saw this need, and that's why this was put in a documented form. So, therefore, as stated in the introduction, so Prabhupada is in this book's introduction, if you have not read this long introduction, but very beautiful introduction. It's about 30 pages long, but very beautiful introduction. And that the prayers, what we read, those prayers are in the beginning of the introduction. So this is how Arjuna accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this can be understood. So to accept the acceptance of Arjuna of all that Krishna says should be emulated. We should accept the way Arjuna accepted, and in that way only we can understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that Krishna is the Bhagavan, Krishnastu Bhagavan Svayam. So that's general purport of this verse. So we can read one more actually, because those are in continuation. Any thoughts? Anybody wants to share something?
Nothing, Prabhuji. It's a plain and simple thing.
Okay.
So nothing, at least I'm not able to.
Okay. So let's continue. Svayam evātmanātmānaṁ
Svayam evātmanātmānaṁ
vettha tvaṁ puruṣottama
vettha tvaṁ puruṣottama
bhūta-bhāvana bhūteśa
bhūta-bhāvana bhūteśa
deva-deva jagat-pate
deva-deva jagat-pate
svayam evātmanātmānaṁ
svayam evātmanātmānaṁ
vettha tvaṁ puruṣottama
vettha tvaṁ puruṣottama
bhūta-bhāvana bhūteśa
bhūta-bhāvana bhūteśa
deva-deva jagat-pate.
deva-deva jagat-pate.
Madhu Prabhu, can you recite now?
Yes.
मध्ये काहीतरी डिस्कनेक्ट झालं होतं बहुतेक. ओके.
स्वयं evātmanātmānaṁ
स्वयमेत्वात्मानं
vettha tvaṁ puruṣottamam
vettha tvaṁ puruṣottama
bhūta-bhāvana bhūteśa
bhūta-bhāvana bhūteśa
deva jagat-pate.
deva-deva jagat-pate.
Thank you, Madhu Prabhu. Rajesh Prabhu.
स्वयं एवात्मनात्मानं
स्वयमेत्वात्मानं
स्वयं एवात्मनात्मानं
स्वयमेवात्मनात्मानं
वेत्थ त्वं पुरुषोत्तमा
वेत्थ त्वं पुरुषोत्तमा
भूतभावन भूतेश
भूतभावन भूतेश
देव-देव जगत्पते.
Deva-deva jagat-pate.
Thank you, Rajesh Prabhu. So word for word meaning is Svayam means personally. Eva means certainly. Atmana means by yourself. Atmanam means yourself. Vettha means know. This comes from Viddhatu, just like Veda or Vidyalaya or Vettha. Tvaṁ means you. Puruṣottama means, O greatest of all the persons. Bhūta-bhāvana means the origin of everything, all the bhutas, all the living entities. Bhūteśa means the Lord of everything. Deva-deva means, O Lord of all the devatas or demigods. Jagat-pate, O Lord of the entire universe. So here Arjuna further is saying, indeed, you alone know yourself by your own internal potency. O Supreme Person, origin of all, Lord of all beings, God of gods, Lord of the universe. Again, he is using, in the second line, he is using lots of adjectives for him. He is glorifying him again. So the first line, he says that, Swayam, only you know yourself. Nobody else can know you fully. So only you know yourself by your own internal potency. Swayam eva. Atmana atmanam. By your own internal potency, you yourself know. Vettha, tvaṁ. And then from the next word, he is glorifying him as puruṣottama, or best of all the purushas, or the supreme person. Bhūta-bhāvana means you are the origin of everything, source of everything. Bhūteśa means you are the controller of everything, Lord of all the beings. Deva-deva, you are the deva or God of all the devatas also, God of all the gods. Jagat-pate, so he is referring to him when you are calling him Jagat, it becomes Jagat-pate. So Jagat-pate is Lord of the whole Jagat, whole universe. So he is again glorifying him with all these names. So to Lord Sri Krishna. So, okay. Chandrakanta Prabhu, you want to read the purport?
Sure.
Yeah.
The Supreme Lord, Krishna, can be known by persons who are in a relationship with him through the discharge of devotional service, like Arjuna and his followers. Persons of demonic or atheistic mentality cannot know Krishna. Mental speculation that leads one away from the Supreme Lord is a serious sin. And one who does not know Krishna should not try to comment on Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is the statement of Krishna, and since it is the science of Krishna, it should be understood from Krishna as Arjuna understood it. It should not be received from atheistic persons. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Vadanti tat tattva vidasa tattvam yaja janma adhuyayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavana iti shabdate. The supreme truth is realized in the three aspects: as impersonal Brahman, localized Paramatma, and as last as the supreme personality of Godhead. So at the last stage of understanding the absolute truth, one comes to the supreme personality of Godhead. A common man or even a liberated man who has realized impersonal Brahman or localized Paramatma may not understand God's personality. Such men therefore may endeavor to understand the Supreme Person from the verses of Bhagavad Gita, which are being spoken by this person, Krishna. Sometimes the impersonalities accept Krishna as Bhagavan, or they accept his authority. Yet many liberated persons cannot understand Krishna as Puruṣottama, the Supreme Person. Therefore, Arjuna addresses him as Puruṣottama. Yet one still may not understand that Krishna is the father of all living entities. Therefore, Arjuna addresses him as bhūta-bhāvana. And if one comes to know him as the father of all the living entities, still one may not know him as the supreme controller. Therefore, he is addressed here as bhūteśa, the supreme controller of everyone. And even if one knows Krishna as the supreme controller of all living entities, still one may not know that he is the origin of all demigods. Therefore, he is addressed herein as deva-deva, the worshipful god of all demigods. And even if one knows him as a worshipful god of demigods, one may not know that he is the supreme proprietor of everything. Therefore, he is addressed as jagat-pate. Thus, the truth about Krishna is established in this verse by the realization of Arjuna, and we should follow in the footsteps of Arjuna to understand Krishna as he is.
Pretty clear, right? And Prabhupada, right? Prabhupada gives the meaning from puruṣottama to jagat-pate. Each word, why he is called puruṣottama, because people don't understand this. So first they have to understand that Krishna is a puruṣottama, the supreme personality of Godhead. Then he is bhūta-bhāvana, he is the source of all the bhutas, all the living entities. And just being the source of everybody people may accept, but they may not think that he is the controller of everybody. But here, bhūta-isha, so he is isha or controller of all the living entities. So all the living entities, there still may be the doubt that, oh, there are devatas also there, but he is the God of all the gods. And not only gods, but he is the supreme controller of the whole entire universe. So now here, actually, he is controller of all the universes, but here he is referring to this jagat. And then the supreme absolute truth is, we talked about this several times actually, is realize the supreme tattva or param satya is realized in 3 stages: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So here it is said, Vadanti tat tattvavidas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti Paramatma iti and Bhagavan iti shabdati. So Brahma, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. In this 3 stages, supreme absolute truth or God is realized. So many people who are trying to understand God, they mostly try to understand in the Brahman, that he is Nirakar, he has no form, he is just working energy. So, and then some who are little advanced, they accept him as Paramatma also within their heart, and then they meditate on Paramatma. So the meditation is not on some light or some nothingness or anything. Meditation is always in the Paramatma within the heart, and we learned that in the 6th chapter.
Correct.
And then ultimately, one realized that, oh, he's a person, he's Krishna himself. And that is the Bhagavan understanding of Lord. And that's where a real love for God can be developed. Because we cannot love something that is abstract, some nirakara. I cannot love something nirakara. If I am asked to love air or love something that is very abstract, it is impossible. Because in love, you have a loving relationship and exchange of transactions. So that you can have only in the highest realization, in a Bhagavan realization. And that's where you can develop a real love, or that's what is called bhakti. So when you develop love for Krishna, so the highest, and that's why the highest level of devotees are the gopis of Vrindavan. And among those, the supreme is Srimati Radhā-Rañi. So Radhā-Rañi is the highest devotee of Krishna. So Baki, I think it's pretty straightforward. Prabhupada explains this, all the names that Arjuna has used from puruṣottama to jagat-pate very nicely here in this purport. So any thoughts, Prabhuji, anything you want to share? But here again, Arjuna is expanding on his realization that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and with these all names, he is giving emphasis on his different qualities.
Yes.
So many times, people in general say that, oh, God is great, or Allahu Akbar. It's the same meaning. But what does that great mean?
Exactly. The greatness of the great.
Yeah, so here we can understand that greatness, that he is puruṣottama, he is bhūta-bhāvana, he is a bhūteśa, He's deva-deva. He's deva of all the devatas. And jagat-pate, he's the controller of the whole universe, not only one universe, but unlimited number of universes. And he's a person, puruṣottama. He's not some abstract thing that he is. Many times people argue that, oh, God has no form. How can you worship his image or murti puja or those things? But that's where I think here they have limited understanding. So that's the purport, or that's the gist of this couple of verses. Any additional thoughts, Prabhuji's?
No, Prabhuji. Not from me.
Okay. Pretty straightforward, right? There is no, and this is what,
Absolutely.
huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And this is what my realization was when I first read the whole Bhagavad Gita with devotees, only English translation. I said, everything is pretty clearly, damn clearly written here. And I had no idea about this. And I claim that, oh, Bhagavad Gita is our scripture. What do I know? I had no idea about this, that this is in Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
Everything is clearly bold, black and white written. No doubt that Krishna is God. But still, there are so many doubts and so many confusion created by people. So I think we'll stop here. Right? So let me stop recording.